now invite Dr. Ramaratnam SG to present his paper on the Vedantic ideals of a 20th century Kashmiri poet. Dr. Ramaratnam S is the Vice Chancellor of JK University, Odisha. He's the visiting professor at Oxford University, Mauritius University. He has presented papers and conferences held in several parts of the globe. He has authored a number of books. You can find his work on ratnam.weebly.com. His latest books are Management Mantra, Sanskrit Drama, The Ritual Traditions of India, and the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. Dr. Ramaratnam, it's an honor for us to have you present your paper here. The stage is all yours, sir, and we look forward to listening to you.
Thank you very much. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. I will straight away begin with my paper. The slide number 1 can be displayed. Next one, please. The brief introduction of mine. Next one. Yes, that is what the topic. The Vedantic ideals of a 20th century Kashmiri poet. That's going to be my topic. Next, please. Well, Kashmir has been a seat of tradition and learning for centuries. It is no wonder that it continues to be so even now, although to a lesser extent due to various factors. Thus, in Zinda Kaul, 1884 to 1965, we have a modern poet who has imbibed the teachings of the Vedanta. Zinda Kaul was a poet, writer, and teacher. He composed in Persian, Hindi, Urdu, and Kashmiri. Kaul has also translated works of Kashmiri into English. He is affectionately called as Master G by his students. He actually belonged to Srinagar area. He was born in a Pandit family, and he took to teaching in a school initially from his very early days. Kaul had passion for poetry. His collection of poems, Sumiran, won the Sahitya Academy Award in 1956. In fact, he was the first Kashmirian poet to win this coveted honor. Next slide. We will begin with his reference to the Supreme Being. We all know the Vedic quotations, Atma va idameka grasit, etc. And also the Brahma Sutra says that the Supreme Being, Supreme Brahman, is responsible for the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the world. Janmadhyasya yataha, the Sutra. The Bhakti tradition says that the Brahman has incarnated himself into various, it is his Leela, it is sport, divine sport, it is for his amusement. Next slide. So this is what Zinda Kaul says. Tajpavane deshu dramut, yor amut gindane, nachinasi jnana mor amut, yor amut gindane. Please forgive me for my Kashmiri. Well, the king Atman has his own will. He descended from the plane of pure spirit, and he has come here to amuse himself to his joy, like a dancing peacock. Well, the concept of incarnation is alluded to in this stanza. The illustration given is very appropriate and very interesting as well. The peacock dances of its own accord. Nobody can compel it to make it dance. Dancing is an expression of joy. When the Paramatman descends to the earth, it is not of his own will. I mean, it is out of his own will. It is his Leela, the divine pastime. Next slide. Why does he descend, or why does he make an avatar? That's because of his desire to amuse himself. Because he is Supreme Brahman, is of the form of supreme joy, Ananda. We have the Vedic quotation, Ananda Brahmet Vyajanat, Anandadyeva kalvimani bhutani jayante, Anandena jatani jivanti, Anandam prayantyapi sambhishanti, Taittiriya. So it is out of his own joy that he has incarnated himself. Next slide. In another poem, Kaul says, Desh Rust Amit Su Panai, Jan Javahar Yar Amut. The Lord is beyond space, yet he accepts limitation of space. So has our Jawahar reference to Jawaharlal Nehru, has of his own accord accepted imprisonment and arrest for the sake of the country. Being a Kashmirian, it is but natural for Cole to praise Jawaharlal Nehru, who we all know has hailed from Kashmir. There is a Divya Prabandha poem which says, Kandinil Sitambinal Katunna Pattiya Patta. That is, the Lord, out of his own will, allows himself to be bound by a rope. He is beyond everything, but he allows himself to be bound by a small rope by Yashoda, out of his own will. This is Leela. So, in this particular poem, the poet has also reflected his national spirit with reference to Jawaharlal Nehru. Next slide. Kaul has made a lot of reference to the concept of Guru. The concept of Guru has a preeminent place in Indian context. The disciple will be prepared to do anything for the sake of the Guru, any sacrifice for that matter. And in this context, Kaul says, Gatu Pachaya Chandar Jan Nam Roop Aku Vok Kala Vigula Vasai. Just as the moon in the dark fortnight loses its digit bit by bit, so will I give away everything. Then including name and form for the sake of the Guru. The disciple is expected to imbibe the spirit of Vairagya. We have the Gita statement, Abhyasena Kaunteya Vairagyena Chakrihyate. So he has to give up certain comforts and everything for that matter for the sake of his Guru. That idea is reflected here. Next slide. The poet further says, Pujay Vidha Keha Jinma, Lochana Nivada Keha Manuma, etc. I do not know the rules of worship, nor believe that anything can hinder pure love. I might stealthily and silently imprint a soft kiss on the holy feet of the Guru. The very concept of Guru-Shishya relationship is brought about here. It is interesting that he says he does not know the rules of worship. Na janami katyam, na janami patyam, etc. We have heard such stanzas from the other poets also. A similar idea is reflected here. I might stealthily and silently imprint a soft kiss on the holy feet of the Guru. That is really interesting because he does not know whether the Guru will accept him or not, perhaps. So even if the Guru is hesitating to accept him as a student, he would still stealthily and silently imprint a soft kiss. That is the way the Guru is accepting the Shishya for that matter. Next. I find that Kaul is not just an isolated poet who is interested in Vedanta and the national spirit. He has left behind a legacy. Several poets seem to be influenced by him, although we cannot say for certain. Because the trend continues. The legacy of Zinda Kaul may be given a thought. We find unmistakable influence of Zinda Kaul on later Kashmiri poets. Some of them may be listed below. Sarvanand Kaul Premi, 1924 to 1990. He was again a Kashmiri poet. He was a journalist, research scholar, a Gandhian, social reformer, and independence activist. He lived all through his life in Jammu and Kashmir. He brought out works like Bhakti Kusum, Mother Devi, and Roop Bhavani. He has also translated Bhagavad Gita into Kashmiri language in the verse form. In one of his poems, he says, next slide. It will never be that love will be lost. It will never be that moon will be shattered. Lie can prevail for a moment, but it will never be that truth can be vanquished. We know several statements about Satyameva Jayate and things like that, which are traditionally recited in our tradition, in our culture. The same idea is reflected here. Sometimes it may appear that lie can prevail, but it's only momentary. Ultimately, Satya alone will win. That is reflected in all our stories. Dharma will prevail. Satya will prevail. Next. Before that, on a fateful day of 29 April 1990, Tom Premi, along with his son, was martyred by unknown gunmen in his own native village. But the songs of Premi, which are full of compassion, brotherhood, and patriotism, will echo in our ears forever, reminding us of the great human being that he was. A fearless soldier of pen, Premi has never been afraid of the stand that he has taken and his concept of universal brotherhood and his patriotic spirit. He once wrote, I'm not going to read the original, I'll read the translation only. Being a hope of the hopeless, I am being trampled upon. Are you also facing the typhoon like me? It talks about the struggles the Kashmiris, particularly the people belong to the Pandit families, faced. But again, the spirit of courage and faith that is introduced into this poem. Don't lose your hope, in spite of the struggles, or even a typhoon hitting you. You should be standing up against it. That idea is reflected in this particular poem. Then we come to Abdul Rahman Rahi, was born in 1925. He's a Kashmiri poet, translator, and critic. He was awarded the Indian Sahitya Academy Award in 1961 for his poetry, and he was also awarded Padma Shri in the year 2000. And he got the Jnanapith Award in 2007. In fact, he is the first Kashmirian writer to be awarded the Jnanapith Award. It is India's, as we all know, highest literary award for his poetic collections. He was also offered with Sahitya Academy Fellowship in the year 2000 by Sahitya Academy for his poem Shadows. So I may quote just one stanza from his poem Shadows. Next slide. All gods are mine own shadows. All monsters like my animated self. Raji is fire-eating lunatic. It may look somewhat archaic and somewhat puzzling for Rahi to use the words like lunatic, I am a lunatic, fire-eating lunatic. But if we analyze his mind, then certain things, many things will be reflected in it. For example, when he says, all gods are mine own shadows, just revert it. The man is only a shadow of God. That idea will be reflected. We have in a number of places where this idea is reflected. God has created man in his own image. We will come to that a little later. If you have time, I will explain that. Next slide. Ghulam Rasul Santosh, 1929, born in 1929 and lived up to 1997. Also known as he preferred himself to be called as Santosh, and he was a prominent Indian painter and poet. He was best known for his themes inspired by Kashmiri and Shaivism. In 1979, he became the recipient of Sahitya Academy Award for his poem titled Be Sog Ruh. We need not speak much about his love for that native Indian tradition. His painting will reveal all that. He had the spirit of Kashmir Tantra running in his blood. Next slide. This is the one that I refer to, this painting. The Shakti cult is evidently prevalent in that. The chakra concept and Shiva Shakti Aikya. We know from Saudhatya Lahari, Shiva Shakti Ayukto, Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitam, Nache Devam Devo, Nakalapushal Spandita Baby, Atastam Arathyam Hariyara Varincha Virapi, Pranavatum Stotum Makatam Akritapunya Prabhavati. And Swami Vivekananda once said, with particular reference to the Shakti worshipper, do you know who is the real Shakti worshipper? It is he who knows that God is the omnipresent force in the universe and sees in women the manifestation of that particular force. Shakti is power. We had earlier referred to Zinda Kaul's concept of Leela and his supreme being, and it's about his concept of Guru. We know from the tradition, Kushabdasta Andhakaraha, Purushabdasta Nivarakaha, Andhakara Niroditvat, Gururitya Vidhiyate. Who refers to ignorance, the darkness of ignorance. Ru is representative of the term Runadhi, removes. Since it is Guru who removes the darkness in the form of ignorance, he is called Guru. It's a well-known statement. The same idea is reflected in Zinda Kaul's concept of Guru also. Similarly, we have other stanzas like Jnana Timirantasya, Jnananjana Shalakaya, Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurvaya Namaha. In another poem, Zinda Kaul, I'm coming back to the same poem, that aspiring for benefits from the service that you do is like erecting a mosque initially and then demolishing it for the sake of profit earning mall. You convert it into a mall or demolish it, build a mall. How ridiculous it should be. So he says, expecting personal benefits from your deeds is like that. So the concept of karma theory, the karma yoga is reflected in Kaul's poem. In another poem, Kaul has said, time cannot go backwards. Summer after autumn is not possible. The winter cannot be avoided. We know about the Kashmiri winter. So this idea is derived from its reflection. It's a reflection of the famous Bhagavad Gita shloka, Matra Sparshast Kaunteya, Shitoshna Shukadukadaha, Agama Payanaha, Tesham Tan Titikshaswa Bharat. Your Sukha and Dukkha are also like that, like seasons. They come and go. One should not be perturbed by them. Paul's reference to the same idea. Time cannot go backwards. Summer after autumn is not possible. Is indicative of the same idea. And we also refer to Rahi. He says, all gods are mine own shadows. As I said, it is another way of putting the same idea that is found in Genesis Bible. God created man in his own image. So this relationship between God and man imparts harmony, intelligence, and design to human life. It enhances the human spirit. As we see in the Bhagavad Gita, Uttharayad Atmana Atman, Na Atman Mahasati. Atmaiva hi Atmano Bandhu, Atmaiva hi Ritur Atmana. And also we have the famous Advaitic statement, Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. We think limited, and so we remain limited. But we must remember the statement, the Upanishadic statement, Amritasya Putraha. To realize this idea, we have to end cravings for the material things. Vihaya kaman yasatman, umamshirate nisprihaha, nirmamo nirahankaraha, sa shanti madhigachati. On the other hand, if we run after the material things, we will end up nowhere. Again, I may quote from the Bhagavad Gita, Dhyayato Vishayat Pumsaha, Sangasteshu Upajayate, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha, Kamat Krodho Vijayate, Krodhat Bhavati Sammohaha, Sammohat Smriti Vipramaha, Smriti Pramshat Buddhinashaha, Buddhinashat Pranashyati. And Rahi says he is lunatic. That is only in apparent way, because Sri Ramakrishna was considered as a lunatic by some of his people. So we must know that this is how the world looks at great personalities. They are not aware of the spiritual personalities, but they consider them as lunatic just by seeing their behavior, their apparent. It's a paradox. There is a statement in Tamil which says, Kalyanam pannal paityam teliyum. Paityam telinjal kapranda kalyanam pannal. That is only if the lunacy is cured, he can be married. But there's also another statement, only if he got married, then his lunacy will go. So the paradox. And he calls himself the fire, the fire in himself. It refers to the fire of knowledge that a human being is capable of. And with reference to Santosh, that poet Santosh, painter poet Santosh, and about his painting, we have the statement from Devi Bhagavata. It says, the Devi says, I am the creator, I am the destroyer, I am Brahma, I am Vishnu, I am Shiva. The concept of mother gods, that is reflected in his painting. So this is how the Kashmiri poets, even today, they are keeping up the tradition of the overall Indian culture and tradition. And in my opinion, Zinda Kaul has definitely influenced the later poets, and that legacy of Zinda Kaul is really praiseworthy. And this is the point which I wanted to say with reference to the tradition of Kashmir. Our tradition and culture, Kashmirian tradition particularly, has not died completely, but it is still living, though to a lesser extent. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Next slide. Last.
Thank you, Dr. Ramaratnam. Nagaraj Karu?
Yes, as always, Professor Ramaratnam comes up with that erudite presentation. As you have rightly scheduled all the similar papers in the same session, this also matches with the other presentations, which are purely doctrinal discussions, theoretical, philosophical discussions, and there is a philosophical comparison between Kashmiri poet and the general Vedanta philosophy. His erudition, his multilingual scholarship, and his polymath scholarship, everything is coming out through the paper, and it's very much matching with the theme of Kashmir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Nagaraj Karu. Thank you, Ramaratnam, sir.